What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. It's time for your Friday night Smackdown recap, as well as the latest wrestling news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia covers the blue brand and the latest news, including 2K's apology for WWE 2K20, Jake Hager's Bellator brawl, CM Punk's words for AEW, and much more. Friday Night Smackdown is coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri, with Michael Cole and Corey Graves calling the matches. The show opens up with The Miz in the ring with Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, as well as some of each man's team for Crown Jewel. Shorty G, Roman Reigns and Ali are here for Hogan, while Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin are here for Flair. Hogan and Flair trash talk until Hogan goads Flair's team into a match with his crew. Sami Zayn says he's hurt his neck, so Cesaro will replace him. Team Flair and Team Hogan's members start fighting, a warm-up for tonight's main event. The first match of the night is tag team action as the New Day take on Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Kofi Kingston and Biggie come up short when Ziggler rolls up Kofi for the win. Are we wrong in this saying that this is Kofi's second loss after winning the championship? After the match, the Revival run in to beat down the New Day, but Heavy Machinery comes in for the save. Nikki Cross then cuts a promo on SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Nikki's opponent Mandy Rose. But then after that, it's one-on-one women's action as Lacey Evans takes on Cameron Connors. Wrestling sassy Southern Belle tells everyone she's not going to wrestle a jobber, but as she leaves, she turns around, slugs Connor with the women's right, and gets the win. It's now time for another episode of Firefly Funhouse, but it's a sad one as Bray Wyatt and the gang mourn the death of Ramblin' Rabbit. Is he actually dead for sure this time? The assorted oddballs pay their respects to Rabbit, who's laid out in an open casket, but incredibly, he comes back to life, proclaiming a muscle man in a suit kept firing him, and he doesn't want to go back. Well, I guess that's not the end of Ramblin' Rabbit. Next up, Cruiserweight action as Drew Gulak takes on Kalisto. The former Cruiserweight champion has a PowerPoint presentation showing how Braun Strowman can defeat Tyson Fury, but he's cut off by Kalisto, who attacks him. Gulak counters, but when Braun Strowman shows up, Kalisto surprises Drew with the Salida del Sol. After the match, Braun Strowman attacks Gulak, delivering a running power slam. The Monster Among Men says Gulak disrespected him, but Gulak deserves to be in the ring, not Tyson Fury. There's highlights of Braun Strowman attacking Tyson Fury at the Performance Center, so will Fury be 100% for Crown Jewel? Well, of course he will. Next up, it's Nikki Cross vs Mandy Rose, who's with Sonya Deville. Despite Sonya's help outside, Nikki wins this one, hitting the swinging neckbreaker on Deville. Michael Cole then asked Daniel Bryan as to whether the Yes movement has returned, but Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn interrupt, with Zayn playing footage from when Bryan said the Yes movement was dead. Zayn tells Bryan he doesn't owe the fans anything, and Bryan walks away. After that, Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez enter the ring to discuss Kane's match with Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. Rey says Lesnar has been getting away with too much for too long and he's going to pay for it at Crown Jewel. They call out Brock only to get Paul Heyman. Heyman asks the two where they think Brock is. We then see Brock picking up Dominic Mysterio and he's not looking good. Rey and Kane rush to the medical area only to be ambushed by Brock Lesnar. The Beast F5s Rey into the wall and F5s Kane onto Dominic. Afterwards, Kane says Brock is gonna die. And now it's time for the main event as Team Hogan of Ali and what the hell is he wearing Shorty G and Roman Reigns, who's with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart, versus Team Flair of Cesaro, Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura, who's with Ric Flair and Sami Zayn. This preview match for Crown Jewel sees the Hulkster's team win when Ali hits the 450 splash on Cesaro for the win. Could the same thing happen at Crown Jewel? But that was a quick recap of SmackDown. Let's move on to the news, as let's look at the top story. 2K apologizes for WWE 2K20. In case you missed it, 2K's new wrestling game 2K20 is a complete disaster. Be sure to check out our review if you're still thinking of buying it, but the game isn't ignoring the customers' complaints or the number of games being returned for refunds. After several days, 2K20 devs recently tweeted the following message of hope. We are listening closely to the feedback that's been shared regarding WWE 2K20 and are aware of the concerns some players are reporting. We're working hard to investigate these concerns and address them as necessary. We expect to have an initial patch ready in the next 2 weeks, with others to follow. Stay tuned to WWE Games' social media channels for more information. Hopefully, 2K's promise won't go unfulfilled like the WWE's many promises to fix their broken product. Next up, Jim Ross's odd apology to Seth Rollins. As we discussed in our earlier video, AEW announcer Jim Ross responded to Seth Rollins calling AEW the minor leagues by addressing Rollins' comments and including the following remark. "But Rollins, he's got a great spot. He's blessed. Maybe someday he'll be as over as his girlfriend." The remarks were made on Ross's podcast Grillin' JR, and good old JR caught some heat from the WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, leading to Ross responding, "Mark Henry said in Busted Open Radio today that my flippant remark about Rollins getting over as much as his lady friend was uncalled for and unnecessary. Mark's likely right. I'm unfiltered and honest for better or worse." Ross seems to have taken things further, releasing a t-shirt immortalizing his words, and the t-shirt reads, "Maybe one day you'll be as over as your girlfriend." Looks like business is about to pick up. But speaking of Seth, he commented on how the business has changed. As Seth Rollins recently appeared at Houston, Texas's Fandemic convention and took some time to speak with Andrew Dansby of the Houston Chronicle. He asked about the storytelling aspect of the WWE, with Rollins answering, "Yeah, wrestling is a wacky medium that allows you to tell stories different ways. Foley's a great example. He's an amazing storyteller who has done it different ways. He was great in the ring, he was great at making his injuries entertaining, and he was also athletic when he had to be. Our audience now asks for the storytelling, but they also enjoy a faster paced style. A little more high-flying style, it's more action-packed." He also discussed what keeps him stepping back into the ring. "What keeps me going is the fan base, especially the younger fan base. A 5-year-old begging his parents to take him to a show on Saturday night. A kid who catches a t-shirt and goes home with a memory that won't leave him. That's number one for me after 15 years. Engaging people with stories." Next up, Jake Hager doesn't get the win at Bellator 221. AEW star Jake Hager's fight at Bellator 221 was highlighted by Hager's AEW Inner Circle teammates Sammy Guevara, Ortiz and Santana showing up to support him. However, as PW Insider reported, Hager's fight against Anthony Garrett was stopped after Hager kneed Garrett with a knee strike to the groin, leading to cage-side doctors to rule Garrett could not return to fighting within a mandated 5-minute rest period. The fight, which aired live on Paramount Network, was declared a no contest. Hager went into the fight undefeated in MMA with a 2-0-0 record. His record will now be 2-0-1. Hager was accompanied by his Inner Circle stablemates Sammy Guevara, Ortiz and Santana for the fight. During a pre-fight interview, Ortiz called Garrett doo-doo and declared he was going to dive off the cage and stab him. As funny as Ortiz's remarks were, it would have been no laughing matter had he lost the match. In some respects, the no contest result due to a knee to the groin only furthers Hager's image as the Inner Circle's hired gun. Next up, condolences to KO. Current Raw superstar Kevin Owens took to social media to report that his father-in-law passed away recently. The Canadian grappler posted a heartfelt tribute to his recently deceased relative on Twitter. Wrestlelamia sends its thoughts and prayers to Kevin Owens and his family on their recent loss. Next up, Jimmy Uso's arrest video. TMZ recently released video footage from the events leading to WWE superstar Jimmy Uso's DUI arrest. The 6-minute video is available and required viewing for fans of police dramas and the show Drunk History. Next up, WWE superstars rally for Rayden. You may have seen the disgusting video of school students bullying a classmate with special needs. The video led to a tidal wave of support for the 12-year-old boy who is autistic, diabetic and deaf in one ear. Thankfully, WWE superstars have responded as well, with Aleister Black writing, "I think myself and a few others would like to come to this school and sit down with these kids and talk to them and perhaps talk to all the kids in this school on why this is happening and how to change this." WWE superstar Titus O'Neil saw the video and Black's tweet replying, "We're going there. I'll give you details Monday." Next up, CM Punk's advice for AEW. CM Punk never seems to be at loss for words, whether it's his thoughts on his new horror film or new wrestling promotion AEW. During an interview with Screen Rant, Punk commented on AEW and their antagonistic relationship with the WWE. "Yeah, I think AEW needs to focus on themselves and stop talking about WWE. Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, all those guys have something great going on. I just think it lessens and cheapens what they're doing when they're constantly attacking WWE. There hasn't been an alternative to WWE in so very long, and I think they do a disservice to themselves when they're trying to be the alternative but constantly bring up WWE. But I understand, when people ask you the questions during the interviews, you have to answer them. But that's just part of life. You have to learn how to navigate that. I would like them to just try to focus on their product and building it up and making it better. I think that would benefit all the fans. As for acting, Punk's comments suggest he wouldn't mind continuing to act. I think this is my new drug. I was addicted to showing up on set and being better than I was the day before. So my goal is now, whatever project is next, I want to learn more. I want to become a better actor and I want to keep my options open. If I get a good script and I'm working with great quality people, chances are I'm going to try and do as many of these as I possibly can. I had like unlimited fun. I can't stress how everybody was amazing to work with, even on the hardest shoot days when it was stressful. Everybody lifted everybody else up. Hopefully I'll be in a lot more of these. Next up, some wretched ratings. If you think Raw's ratings have been bad in the US, take a look at these figures from a recent story at Ringside News. The October 18th episode of Smackdown drew 23,000 viewers, but Raw on the 21st only drew 3,000. This is not a good look for the world's largest pro wrestling company. To put things into perspective, October 18th's episode of Impact Wrestling drew 77,000 fans in the UK on October 18th, while AEW Dynamite drew 232,000 viewers on October 14th. Yikes. And our last story, is Woken Matt Hardy coming back? Matt Hardy released an interesting video on YouTube, heightening speculation he might return as his character Woken Matt Hardy. Hardy's Free the Delete series is described as, the YouTube description reads like this. It's the first ever episode of Free the Delete, which follows Matt Hardy's journey to recapture his broken brilliance. Finding himself somewhere in limbo between mankind and the multiverse, Matt must embark on a mission to free the Delete and procure his true destiny. Sounds great, we'll be sure to tune in. But there you have it guys, a quick recap for the 25th October edition of Smackdown, as well as the latest wrestling news. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.